St. John chapter 14, verse 30. Hereafter I will not talk much with you, for the prince of this world cometh and hath nothing in me. First and foremost, giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Double honors to the men that I learned this truth from, starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai Barakathum. To the house of David, which consists of the hopefully elect, because when you read in the book of Amos, it tells you how the tabernacles of David is being pretty much sealed up. And matter of fact, I'm going to get that real quick because, when referencing the house of David, it just simply goes into the elect, all right, the hopefully elect, which again, we're hoping and striving to be part of that number, all right, because those of the hopefully elect, the house of David, they're not going to bend the will. They're not going to bend to the will of this beast system that is being set up right before our very eyes. All right. And the beast that I'm talking about, dealing with Revelation, the 13th chapter. All right. The elect, they're not going to fold. All right. But I'm going to get this in Amos chapter 9. Verse 11, it says, in that day, and that day is talking about this very day and age that we're in today. You see a lot of the prophecies that was spoken aforetime. A lot of the prophecies were speaking about in today's day and age that we're living in right now. They were speaking about the end times. All right. And I'm talking about way in the book of Genesis. All right. Way in the beginning, you have prophets talking about the end times, which again, we're in those times now. Like when you read about Enoch, which goes back to Genesis, it was one of those prophets. He was speaking about the second coming of Yahweh. He was speaking about things concerning the times that we're in now. So a lot of what they spoke about is concerning the very time that we're in right now. All right. So again, we're in that day. All right. When it says in that day, all right, it's talking about this day and age that we're living in now. All right. We're in the last days. It says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. So there it is. All right. The tabernacle of David, which is fallen because it's prophesied that the children of Israel would fall away as a people. All right. The children of Israel being your so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. All right. The real Hebrew Israelites. The real chosen people of, again, who the world calls God. His name is Yahweh. All things are done in the name of his only begotten son, who the world calls Jesus. His real name is Yahushai. All right. All things are done by Yahweh in the name of his only begotten son, Yahushai. All right. And again, it was prophesied that the real Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, would fall away as a people. Another scripture that talks about how we would be discontinued from our heritage. All right. And we've been, because again, when you go through the different prophecies, man, it talks about how 350 years or basically talking about 350 years. All right. And after that 350 years, the Lord would revive us. He would bring us back to life, so to say. All right. And again, we're in that time where Israel, ever since the 60s, all right, we've been waking up as a people. We've been, called into this light, this truth, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right. We've been quickened. We've been brought back to life because, as the scriptures say, the scriptures talk about how anyone who wanders away from wisdom, all right, knowledge and understanding, you're pretty much in a congregation of the dead. So before we came into this truth, we were spiritually dead. All right. We're zombies. And this is why they make a lot of the movies and the games and stuff dealing with zombies. All right. Because believe it or not, these nations, Esau being at the top of that list, they know who we are. We just seem to be the only people who don't really know who we are. But these nations, they know. All right, and scriptures talk about how they suffer not to put our dead bodies in graves, meaning they're not telling us who we are, because for one, they benefit off of it. So, to them, it wouldn't make sense to tell us who we were, but nevertheless, they know. All right. They know who we are, man. And again, dealing with the tabernacle of David, all right, the house of David, the elect. All right. Hey, we being the hopeful elect, we're being woken up in these last days. And like I said, the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, the Yahweh Shem Shai, he's going to have a spirit on his elect when it comes to this beast system that is being pushed worldwide. The elect, they're not going to fold. They're not going to bend to the will, because this is what's being set up. Like I said, and all roads leading to Revelation 13, 16 and 17. All right, I got to keep it PG and speaking code because of YouTube's algorithm. All right, because this video will be up on BitChute, but got to keep it PG for YouTube. All right, but nevertheless, man, getting into it. Dealing with what Joe Biden and his administration, what they're proposing. All right, I'm gonna read this title here. It says IRS has no business snooping in your bank account. Now I'm gonna play this video, and a precept comes to mind, but as usual, if the spirit wants to bring anything else out, it's gonna come out. So with that being said, I'll play this video.
And first, our top story, the growing threat of Big Brother. The Biden administration is trying to justify its totalitarian proposal to investigate every $600 transaction that goes in and out of bank accounts as simply a way of tracking tax cheats. That's what they say. In fact, it's less about tax cheats than it is a cheat of our Constitution's Fourth Amendment, which prevents the government from, quote, conducting searches of persons, houses, papers, and effects without probable cause. Now, unless Treasury Secretary Yellen can make the case to a judge that all 330 million Americans are probable tax cheats, she should lose this fight. But the IRS has a history of playing fast and loose with the concept of being innocent until you're proven guilty. And this takes that to a whole different level. Matt Walsh, the writer, describes the IRS proposal as, quote, a permanent IRS audit. But you can tell it's even more than that by the undisguised glee with which Democrats are pushing the idea. Ask anyone who works for a social media company how much a database tracking every $600 transaction in America would be worth. Then imagine how the government could cull politically priceless data about where your money's going and how it's being used. Reasonable folks worry that giving the government the kind of access to that information in our private lives could morph into a Chinese communist-style social credit system where political and economic decisions become intertwined and continuously scrutinized by government monitors. If you think that's too conspiratorial, just remember the Lois Lerner episode where...
All right, so basically, IRS pretty much get into your business, pretty much you can say goodbye to privacy. Because again, this is something that a Biden administration is proposing, pretty much allowing the IRS to snoop around your bank accounts for every $600 transaction to supposedly deal with people that are cheating with their taxes or whatever the case may be, right? But notice how it compared it to because again, I'm sure it's another one of those things that a lot of Jake doesn't know and understand. With China, they got a credit-based system, right? To where a social credit system to where pretty much, man, you could say something that goes against the government, all right, and if you say anything that goes against the government, you could pretty much be X out of the community. You can be a castaway. All right. Now, when you look into something, there's a video. I don't even know if it's still on the internet, but Aaron Russo did with it was one of the Rockefellers. All right. And if you know about the Rockefellers, hey, when the scriptures talk about the spiritual wickedness in high places, all right. And also when I refer to the Job 9:24, when you read Job 9:24, the earth given into the hand of the wicked, right? When you look into the Rockefellers and the DuPonts, Eisenhowers, and the Rothschilds, when you look into those those particular names and those people, all right, that's who the scriptures are referring to, because they're the ones that run the earth right now. And that's why I started out with what was that in Saint John. That's why I read Saint John 14:30, dealing with the prince of this world. That has nothing to do with Yahweh Shema Shah, because again, referencing the wicked, because that's who the Bible refers to them as, the wicked. All right. They're the wicked that the Bible speaks about. And that's another thing, because I mentioned before Yahweh Shai makes his second return, one of many things that had to happen. I mentioned one being that the nation of Israel, we had to fall away as a people. We would have to lose our heritage, forget who we were as a people. All right. And another thing being the wicked, all right, that son of perdition, that man of sin, had to be revealed. And if it's not clear by now who that man of sin is, then hey, the Lord has your eyes shut, and that's just what it is, because it's clear as day who, like I said, when the Bible references the wicked, all right, it's clear as day who that's talking about, who that's referencing. All right. So again, when you look into those guys, man, those particular people, all right, that's who the scriptures are talking about, and that's who runs the earth. The international bankers, all right, the so-called Illuminati, whatever you want to call them nowadays. That's who it's talking about. And I was going into the point where you look into a video with Aaron Russo and one of the Rockefellers. I did an interview, and pretty much Aaron Russo, the interview was with Aaron Russo and I believe it was what's his name, man, Alex Jones, but it was dealing with an interview that Aaron Russo did with one of the Rockefellers, and Aaron Russo pretty much spilled the beans on what they discussed. And one of the things that they discussed was this chip that they wanted to implement to the world, and with it they'll be able to control everything, track and trace and control everything. All right. And pretty much, because like I said, going back to this credit-based system in China, that's a glimpse of it. You see, that's pretty much what it is. Because again, like I said, you say anything against the government, like Aaron Russo said, man, they could just turn your chip off. If you see, because the times are going to come where when this thing is implemented, it's not going to be a thing of if you owe the IRS, if you owe the government, they got to send letters to your house, send people to your house, get all these calls and stuff like that. You see, all that's going to be done away with, because when they implement these chips, it's just going to be a thing of if you owe the IRS, if you owe the government, they could just take it out automatically. All right. They could just take it out. All right. Because ultimately, that's what it's about. It's about control. They want to know everyone's whereabouts. All right. What everyone's doing. And I always say, man, speaking on this, man, I always say it goes a lot deeper, because when you read the prophecy, it says that you won't be able to buy or sell. It goes a lot deeper than just buying and selling. They want to know your thoughts, man. And the scriptures tell you how these people, they're deep, man. All right. So it goes a lot deeper than just, the scriptures say they search out iniquities. So it goes a lot deeper than just being able to buy and sell. All right. But nevertheless, with this thing, all right, and that's what I'm referring to when I refer to the Revelation 13, 16, and 17, referring to the chip, because that's what it is. That's what the mark is. All right. And with this thing, man, again, you can say something that opposes the government, and they could turn your chip off. And like I said, you'll pretty much be a cast out. You'll be a castaway. You won't be able to buy or sell. You won't be able to function in society. And like I said, look at the China, the credit-based system in China. That's pretty much what they're doing over there. And that's what they're comparing this to, with the IRS being able to with every $600 transaction monitor and pretty much snoop in your business, which is no coincidence. Because when you go into the high side stigma in Revelation 13, the 666, it's no coincidence. They always use the number 6, which another indication who that man of sin is. But nevertheless, this is what they're proposing, and this is what they're talking about. All right. So I'm gonna play some more of this.
Political beliefs played a part in IRS decisions about granting tax-exempt status to organizations just before the 2020-2012 elections. Now, some members of Congress believe that at the very least, the Biden's IRS proposal is unconstitutional and must be stopped. One of them is Congressman Drew Ferguson from Georgia, member of the House Ways and Means Committee, and he joins us now. Congressman, good to see you. Do we know who first came up with this proposal?
David, good to be with you today, and I, like every American, am furious at this proposal. We don't know where it came from, but I have a feeling it came from Nancy Pelosi, and this is something that every American is going to be.
And it's simply, these things, they simply come from these international bankers, because again, that's who runs the world, man. That's who the earth has been given over to. You see, Yahweh Shemel Shai gave power to these people to ultimately fulfill the Lord's will. But nevertheless, he gave powership to these international bankers. So, with all these ridiculous mandates and laws and unjust, because the scriptures tell you, man, with the unjust decrees, the unrighteous decrees, man, and the stuff that they're putting in place, they can do whatever they want because they run the earth. So you see, that's where it comes from.
Outraged by, and they should fear it. Having the IRS look into your bank accounts without probable cause is unacceptable, and it's time for Congress to stand up and say no to this.
So what can we do to stop it, Congressman?
Well, David, I'm introducing a bill tomorrow to stop the IRS surveillance, illegal surveillance of America's bank accounts. It's a very simple bill. It just prohibits the IRS from doing this. And look, here's one of the real challenges with this bill right now, is that it is going to be used as a pay-for in their reckless scheme, their reconciliation scheme, to give a tax break to millionaires and billionaires in blue states. This is wrong. And look, David, it doesn't matter if the number is $1, $600, or $10,000. You cannot allow the government to look at your private property. These bank accounts are the property of the American citizen, and the IRS has no business snooping in there.
Are there any Democrats opposed to it that you know?
So yeah. Like I said, man, ultimately it's about control, complete control. And you can read about that in the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter. It talks about the souls of men. But you see, when you take that, if you take that mark, man, you pretty much have ultimately, that's the ultimate form of selling your soul. Like they say in the world, selling your soul to the devil. If you take that mark, which is the chip, that's the ultimate form of selling your soul, all right, to the devil. And in this case, the devil being Esau, Edom, all right, those that run the earth, these Job 9:24s, man. The wicked that the Bible speaks about, you see. And again, this is something that is being pushed globally. All right. Because, hey, that's the devil for you, man. It's not just a thing of America. America was just used to, and this is why the scriptures refer to America as a whore, because America has just been nothing but a pawn for these elites to pretty much spread this poison throughout the earth. You see, but America served its purpose. She served her purpose, man. And this place is through. There's really no need for America for these elites anymore. America has ran her course. But nevertheless, I want to get this in Ephesians. All right, Because again, ultimately, like I keep saying, it goes back to control. They want to know everyone's whereabouts. They just want to be able to track and trace everything. You see, this is why there's a push to do away with the physical dollar, because with that, you can't track it, you can't trace it. You got a lot of people, they work side hustles. They don't have to, basically, what do you call it? Because again, there's a lot of things that you can do that, dealing with the, people working side hustles and stuff like that. You got people that work under the table. Like I said, that money can't be tracked. It can't be traced, and you see this devil being the greedy dog that he is, man. He wants to know it all, man. He like I said, man, he wants to know all your whereabouts. Not only that, he wants a piece of it. You see, you wonder why you get taxed to death, right? While we're working for pennies on the dollar. Meanwhile, these elites, man, they're getting rich off of your slavery, off of our slavery, because like I said, he's a greedy dog. He can't get enough. So with this thing, man, again, they're going to be able to track and trace everything, and they're going to know all of your whereabouts. So that's why I'm going to read this here in Ephesians chapter 2. In verse 2, it says, wherein in time past you walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, because that's another one of his titles, so to say, dealing with Esau, being the prince of the power of the air. All right, where is air? It's everywhere. And this is how these Job 90:24 these wicked elites, this is what they want. This is what they're trying to accomplish. They want to be everywhere and all your whereabouts. And like I said, it goes a lot deeper, man. They want to know your thoughts. They want to know. They want to tap into your dreams. They want to know all that stuff. You see, it says the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. But the point being, that he's a prince of the power of the air. This is the same prince that Yahushua spoke about when he said, "The prince of this world cometh and hath nothing in me." All right, because again, the earth was given, rulership of the earth was given to these people for a certain period of time, because they're not going to rule forever. All right, it may seem like that, but they're not going to rule forever. The scriptures talk about until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled, and they're coming to their time. They're coming to their end, and they know it. They see it. When you hear statements like Joe Biden made a statement, we're getting impatient with the those that don't want to take the Vanessa, that poison, right? Hey, the elites, man, they're getting patient. That's why when you read Revelation 12:12, the devil coming down with that great wrath, because he knows that he has but a short time. He knows his time is running out. You see, and this is why they're going to do everything in their power to get this agenda accomplished. But again, the Lord's only going to allow them to get but so far with it. You see, and another thing, because they're going to chip a lot of people. A lot of people are going to end up getting microchipped. But hey, like I said, to the elect, because that's what this is all about. That's what this is all for. The elect, they're not going to bow to the will of the beast that you read about in Revelation 13. All right, because who controls the beast? Esau. So you see, but nevertheless, man, like I said, him being the prince of the power of the air, they want to know everything, man. They exalt themselves as the Most High. They want to be that omnipotent presence, that like the Spirit of the Lord, man. He's everywhere at the same time, all the time, man. He's everywhere. His Spirit is everywhere, and this is what he's trying to accomplish. This is what Esau is trying to accomplish on the left hand. All right. But again, it's like I said, he's only going to get but so far with it, because he's coming to the end of his kingdom. All right. So actually, Salaki, before I forget, because again, all roads lead to that mark, man, that chip. All right. And this is not, I'm not giving out any medical advice. I'm not giving out any financial advice. All right.
Without objection.
And I'm not going to play this video, but because I had mentioned this in the previous video, right? Dealing with the cashless society. All right. Now I'm going to leave this link. Well, I don't know how to do it on BitChute. If I can figure it out on BitChute, I'll do it on BitChute. But for YouTube's sake, I'll leave the link to this video in the description. All right, and again, because the title says Democrats and Republicans discuss moving to a cashless society, and like I said before, I watched the whole video, and pretty much they're just going into the disadvantages. Like it says here, it says the House Financial Services Committee held a hearing on how a cashless economy impacts disadvantaged communities and peoples, and mostly when you when you pay attention from a spiritual standpoint, mostly. Because at the end of the day, the target is Jake. The target is the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and American Indians. That's the target at the end of the day. All right, because again, these elites, they know who we are. And you see, when we tell you not to take the mark, we're talking to you Israelites. As far as the nations, they can take it. All right. It don't matter whether they take it or not. But like I said, when we say not to take it, we're talking to you Israelites, you Jakes, not to take this. All right. But nevertheless, they're going to set up they're setting it up to where, because like I said, the beast man is the image of the beast is being set up as we speak. All right. And the ultimate form of worshiping the image of the beast is going to be by way of taking that chip. All right. So they're setting it up to where pretty much you're not going to have a choice but to take it. And, part of the pot is going cashless. So you see, it's no coincidence when you hear them talking about going cashless. Like I said, other places, they already have, they've already adopted this method to where they're completely cashless. You hear about cryptocurrency and stuff like that, digital based system like El Salvador. They just made not too long ago, I think it was Bitcoin a legal tender. So as well as other places making Bitcoin a legal tender. So when you hear about things like this, all right, this is where all roads are leading to a cashless society. All right. And everything going digital to where they'll be able to track and trace everything. This is what it's all about. Control. Like I said, Revelation, the 18th chapter. All right. Complete control. That's what it's all about for these elites. You see, so if you want to check this video, like I said, the link will be in the description of this video here. But nevertheless, man, hopefully this was edifying, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Yahweh Bashem Shai, Brakathum, to the hopefully elect Lord's will. Until next time, Shalom.